Hi, welcome back to Play It Loud. Recently, there's been some considerable number of YouTube videos talking about the Beatles' new re-released mono box set. And there's been various flavours put up, but to cut to the quick, a few people have had issues with A Hard Day's Night pressing and with the cover of the White Album. But broadly speaking, I think the view is that the box from 2014 and the latest box are pretty much indistinguishable, certainly in sound quality. And people continue to rave about these mono remasters from the original analog tapes. I want to give a short discourse on my experience of these albums, because I'm not sure I agree with the majority, and I'd be interested to hear feedback from those of you who can do maybe A/B comparisons. So the brouhaha about this box set led me to go back to my albums. I have all of the albums from the box set, but at the time they were released individually and I brought them individually, so I can go back through them all. And I'm fortunate to have a number of very early pressings of Beatles albums. Help, Rubber Soul, Sgt. Pepper's, Revolver. I think I've talked about some of these before. Revolver original pressing is excellent, really good. So I thought, no, maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe these mono masters are as good as everybody's saying they are, and inevitably I've upgraded my system since I last listened to them, so I'll give them another go. And I started with what I put here. I started with the Beatles in Mono, the tracks that didn't arrive on the albums, and I enjoyed it. I really did. So I played one side of Magical Mystery Tour, and that was good as well. Oh, I thought, yeah, well, it must be me, but I'm enjoying the day. You can't go without listening to some of Sgt. Pepper. I'll admit, only side one, but it was a really nice experience. But then things started turning. Enjoying myself so much, I turned to Help. And I played the movie side of Help. And frankly, it sounded a little flat. So I pulled out my, I hesitate to say original copy, a very old pressing of Help. And it was significantly better. And I think I've spoken about this one before, Rubber Soul. The Rubber Soul mono master, remaster, whatever you want to call it, is frankly poor compared to an original pressing of Rubber Soul. And therefore, I've come to the conclusion that these masters, the tapes, have deteriorated. The later albums, and there was an awful lot of technical innovation in the 60s, the later albums have retained their original freshness, and it shows on the albums. But the earlier albums, going back from Help to Please Please Me, they've lost something. And you can master from the original analog tapes, but if the original analog tapes are not up to scratch, then we have a problem. And I would really like to get some feedback from people who can do some A/B comparisons over these and share their thoughts. I freely admit I could be wrong. We all have different hearings, different prejudices, and I'll admit to a prejudice because I love the original Rubber Soul in particular. Great sound. What do you think? Let me know, because if EMI, Columbia, keep selling analog remasters, if anybody does that, but the original analog masters are not up to scratch, we're being taken for a ride, and a few bob. Play it loud. Please subscribe.